This video is brought to you by my two books, Practical Music Theory for the Rock Guitarist and The Blues Guitar Bible. Want to learn about modes, harmony, scales, chord substitution and keys? Or maybe you're interested in supercharging your blues guitar rhythm and lead chops. Whatever you're interested in, I guarantee you will be hitting the fast lane to progress with either of these works. Both feature video demonstrations and tutorials, loads of tabs and jam tracks to play along with, and I promise you, everything is explained in crystal clear plain English. Check out the links in the description for more details. Hello chaps, welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. It's Tuesday today. You know what that means? A top 5 video, and of course you've already seen the thumbnail because you've clicked on it to watch this video. Thank you so much for doing that. And you've read the title, so you know what we're talking about today. These are the questions I get asked by various people the most. When I say various people, I mean in the comments section below videos, in the live chat on the Friday live stream, from my students, on Patreon, all over the place. These are the questions that come to me. I've done videos like this before, but it's been a little while, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. These are the 5 questions that most people seem to be asking me these days, starting with...
Why don't you like Strats?
Well, it's not that I don't like Strats. You know, I like a lot of guitar players where the Stratocaster is their main instrument of choice. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, Hank Marvin. You always got to love a little bit of Hank. That's why I bought that Squire Classic vibe in that particular colour scheme when I decided I needed a Strat in the toolbox last year sometime. So, you know, it's not that I don't like Strats. I was a Strat player for many, many a year. You know, HSS Strat, there's a strong case to make for that being the do anything, go anywhere workhorse guitar. So I don't have a problem with Strats. It's just that, well, I made the leap from a Strat to a Telecaster. I just, on a whim one day, I just thought, I'm going to buy a Telecaster. And I did. And when I kind of started playing it, it was like distilled essence of Fenderiness. You know, all of the kind of single coil, kind of twangy, brass knuckle, Texas blues kind of stuff that you could get out of a Strat. You could get kind of a more powerful, more punchy version of that out of a Telecaster. So, you know, the Telecaster became, for a little while, the novelty, the new thing. And then it just sort of took over as the guitar I was reaching for more and more often. And then once you're on the Telecaster train, it's only a very short kind of hop over to Les Paulville, isn't it? And that's pretty much where I am these days. I always used to write Les Pauls off as being a bit of a one-trick pony, the kind of big, fat, thick rock sound, but, you know, not really good for strummy chords and kind of more subtle stuff. But, you know, it's, as I'm discovering with, I'm not going to reach for it, it's over there, with my Les Paul these days, there's very little it can't do. It just puts a different flavour on it, other than the Stratocaster flavour, and it's, at the moment, it's the flavour that I like. But I don't dislike Strats, they're just not where I'm at musically these days, not where my centre of gravity is. Next.
Do you really tab all that stuff out? Or do you use AI to do it?
AI, look at me. You know, it's all I can do to open an email. Well, you know, I get people in here when I'm doing lessons, and I'll maybe throw something together in Reaper for the lesson, like a backing track for them or something like that, and they always say, oh, you're really good with computers, aren't you? Well, not really. I know how to do video editing and audio recording, but I'm at a complete loss for putting a spreadsheet together. I don't even know what a spreadsheet is for, if I'm honest. It's been explained to me, but it flew well over my head, I'm afraid. So my IT skills are limited to doing this kind of thing, and, you know, recording in Reaper and a bit of web browsing and email, and that's kind of where I run out of steam. I know that AI exists. I know some people are absolutely championing it, and other people are saying it's going to bring about the fall of Western civilization. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. What's it called? Chat GT or something? And there's other ones I know, but that's the one that everybody was making a big noise about a little while ago. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I wouldn't know one end of it from another. So the idea that I'm using that to tab out solos is, it's just no. All of the solos that I tab out in Guitar Pro are all my own work. If you take, for instance, one of the typical Sunday videos that I do, where I demo a guitar in that sort of rather formulaic demo tune that I do, which is designed to do like a crunchy kind of power chord sound, a high gain lead sound, some clean lead, and some kind of strummy rhythm. The main sounds that most people want out of a guitar. I can put one of those tunes together in a couple of hours, then maybe another couple of hours to tab it out, and then it's, then I just have to do like 10 minutes of hello chaps and welcome once again to John Robson Guitar Tuition, and splice all that together in a video, get the tab up on Patreon, and it's done. So that is like maybe a solid morning's work to get one of those videos put together, and I work long hours doing a job I love, and a fair proportion of that is me sat typing away, putting numbers onto tab lines in Guitar Pro. So yes, all my own work. Next.
What happened to your signature guitar?
Got to be a little bit careful with this one, as will become apparent as I tell you what I can. During the COVID lockdown, a chap got in touch with me saying that he'd built a guitar. Would I review it? I said yes. It was a lovely guitar. Then there was a conversation about him producing a signature model guitar for me, and we shook hands on a deal. There was never any formal contract. It was all done. Well, no, there wasn't a formal contract, but it was, there's email threads and text message threads that kind of, basically outline what we agreed. And yeah, and that was it. It was a lovely guitar. And then I think probably about 3 years into the business arrangement that we had, let's just say that I didn't feel things were going the way that my recollection of what that agreement was. So I terminated the business arrangement. I had a phone call with the gentleman in question, and we parted relatively amicably. Then I made a YouTube video explaining this. I'd said to him that I was going to, put it out there that this was the end of the era, as it were. I said I might possibly do it in the live stream, but I did it as a standalone video, mainly so I could compose my thoughts and have another take at it if I needed to, because when it's live you can't do that, obviously. So I put the video out, and I got an irate communication from him threatening to, threatening is a strong word, but let's say that he told me that if I didn't immediately take the video down, he was going to place the matter in the hands of his solicitors. So what do we know about legal proceedings? Lengthy, energy sapping, time consuming, and the outcome doesn't always follow what you think of as the common sense world view. It's never a nailed on certainty, and it can prove expensive. So I basically took the video down and decided that was it. That's an end of it. The guitar is still here in this house. It's up in the attic. I'll never play it again. It's a chapter that I want to move on from. Thank you very much. So there you go. That's as much as I can tell you. Next.
How do you remember all the theory you talk about?
Well, it's not a case of remembering it. It's not like I've memorized stuff. It's a case of this is how it all makes sense to me. I didn't, and I think it's a function of how I learned it, because I didn't learn theory from a theory textbook. I learned it by figuring it out. Why does that chord go with that chord? And then once you start kind of seeing, the initial thing was when you start kind of realizing that on the neck of the guitar, the number of frets between a D bar chord up at the 10th fret and a G bar chord at the 3rd fret is the same number of frets that you get from a, I don't know, a C bar chord at the 8th fret and an F bar chord at the 1st fret. Do you know what I mean? So you start seeing pretty early on those relationships, and it was a puzzle. It was a puzzle I suppose it's how I'm wired as well. When I got a new bike for Christmas, the next day I would kind of be having the gears in bits to see how they worked. You know, can they be made any better? Can I get, you know, that sort of thing. So it's a function of that as well, but just gradually, little by little, figuring these things out, and then you start. It's best analogy I can think of is it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You know, you start kind of getting the edges in, and you start working your way in, and this this bit might fit here, and then you try it out, and it does, and you know, and all of these little discoveries that you have make you sound better when you use them, and that's the key thing that makes the information take root in the old noggin. It's when you've made a discovery and it works and it makes you sound better. That makes you remember it, and gradually, you know, over years and years, it all just sort of formed into this big 3D map of how music works that I've got in my head. There's still some things that I'm a little bit hazy on. For instance, why does a minor pentatonic work over a major chord sequence in a blues to give that bluesy sound? You know, there are various hypotheses that I've got of why that works, but it's never something that I don't have an explanation for that I'm sufficiently happy with. I know it works, and I can teach that it works, and we can build upon that, but it's just I'm not entirely happy with the foundations of that particular strand, but I'll get there. So yeah, there's always a puzzle to be solved, and you know, that's how I view it. And once you've solved the puzzle, you remember. That's how I work anyway. Next,
which YouTube guitarist would you most like to work with?
Oh, so many to choose from. I mean, I've done a few things with Steve Cassidy. Me and Lammy and Steve Cassidy did a Christmas thing, Christmas before last. Budget Guitar Johnny, I've done a couple of things with him. You know, if it was open, well, it was mooted at one point that me and Colin from Guitaristas were going to do something together, but that never came off. Basically, he, you know, we were going to work together, and then he changed his mind, essentially. Which is fair enough, you know, change your mind, prove you've got one, as they say. I don't know. It'd be nice to hang out with royalty like Rick Beato, wouldn't it? You know, it'd be nice to kind of do something with Rick. I'm an enormous fan of his channel, and you know, he's just really the archetypal man for all seasons, isn't he? You know, he's just as happy demonstrating the genius of Johann Sebastian Bach as he is talking about Kurt Cobain or, you know, Steve Lukather. You know, it's I love that attitude in any musician, where they're just as comfortable in the classical or the jazz or the pop or the rock world as they, you know, when it's all just. It's all, they take their musical inspirations from wherever they find them, and that there are no boundaries. It would be great to kind of hang out with somebody like that. But I mean, Rick Beato doesn't know about this fat lad in red car, does he? But if by any chance you're watching, Rick, give us a shout, and maybe we'll kind of jam or something. There you go. Anyway, those are the 5 questions. Make of them what you will. Those are my honest answers. I haven't rehearsed these. These are just as they came out. Fumbling and bumbling and tripping over me words, as I probably have done in the past, however long it's been. But there you go. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have any more questions for me, you know where to leave them, down in the comments. you know, and maybe there'll be a part 2 of this video if there are enough that are kind of, you know, broadly asking the same sort of things. But there you go. That's the video for today, folks. Hope you've enjoyed it. If that's the case, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Why not drop me a like as well while you're at it? Don't forget the live stream every Friday, 5 PM UK time, where we drink beer and talk, basically. Beer and chat on a Friday. How can you not like that? It's a great way to kick off the weekend, and I'd love to see you there if you can make it. But for now, I'll bid you all a good day and say thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. Look after yourselves, folks. Stay well, stay safe, and above all, stay sane. Bye for now.